Hey, good morning. Stephen Eisenstein with Classic Tents and Events. Glad to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, so Stephen, I kind of want to hear, thank you for coming. That's the most important thing.
My pleasure.
It is always appreciated whenever people allot their time to come here. But I kind of got a question. I got some questions for you, and then it's going to be, I want to hear kind of a story of where you started and to where you're at now. Kind of paint that picture for us.
Sure. Well, I was born in the hospitality world. My dad actually was a food salesman as I was growing up,
Okay.
and he would take me along with him to different restaurants and hotels and different places he went to. So as I was growing up, I worked in some restaurants. At the age of 12, I started as a dishwasher, and then as I went up, I started working in restaurants as a different position as a cook. And so growing up, I worked at Buckhead Diner, worked at several restaurants, and then went off to college. Studied at a school called Johnson and Wales University, and they had a hotel restaurant program that I went to,
Okay.
and loved it, enjoyed it. And then after college, came back to Atlanta and wanted to be here for the Olympics.
Super interesting. So what exactly, you were in the hospitality business, but what pushed you to go to school for it?
It was a passion. I just enjoyed taking care of people and wanted to learn more and wanted to be in management. After working in restaurants, I learned that I didn't want to stand on my feet 8 hours or 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
It was hard. So I'm more of a people person, and I like selling. So I was a salesperson for a long time in
Okay.
different hotels after college.
Okay, that's awesome. That is awesome. So kind of what ventures are you dabbling with now?
So I own a company called Classic Tents and Events, and we're a predominantly tent company, and we travel all over. So really that takes most of our time.
So you guys nationwide?
Well, we travel the U.S. We work with several large clients that have businesses across the U.S.
Okay.
So we work with other tent companies in other states. We do travel ourselves, but also we have partnerships with other tent companies.
Okay, so
to
like
help us.
it's like what's kind of like your bread and butter in that tent space? I know you got those big events, but what's like
Yeah, tenting, and then once you put up the tent, it's tables and chairs and all the other accessories that are needed: walls, lights, heat,
Okay.
things like that.
So y'all doing those propane heaters, the stand-ups,
Absolutely.
everything. Man, I've definitely probably been under some of your work before.
Yeah, we have a lot of great clients all over the city, and we work with some great venues, and
Okay.
we have a good
I
time
got you. Yeah, you guys do a lot of stuff in downtown.
all over the city. To be
Okay.
honest with you, we're
Okay.
at Road Atlanta, we're at Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Okay.
There's so many different venues.
So
that
that's
we
y'all
work
down
in.
there on that grass, on that little turf
right.
pad that's down there. Okay, yeah. I thought so. I was like, I didn't know yet. I have to ask, but that's awesome. So now, and then you said you got another company. What else are you dabbling
So
in?
I also have
Serial
an AV
entrepreneur.
business. Exactly. Work with a friend, and he has an audiovisual company.
Okay.
It's called Electrics, and so
Okay.
we rent light fixtures as well, moving lights, different things for different corporate events,
Okay.
and it's fun. Sometimes the groups get to use both sides of the business. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
Sometimes the AV and the tenting all go together.
Yeah, and I feel like people can appreciate that. So kind of what made you jump off? Like we had talked about before, but what made you want to take over Classic Tents and Events?
So I've always been kind of an entrepreneur.
Mhm.
Just watching my dad, he was an entrepreneur. He had a lot of different ventures he was in. So
Oh, yeah.
I studied the rental business, and I wanted to be my own boss. I wanted to not have anyone tell me what to do.
Agreed.
And it was very difficult having a place where people told you, no, you can't do this. I'm like, well, why not? Let's try it.
Yeah.
So now running your own business, it allows you to do that. You can kind of come up with your own ideas and test it and try it. And if
Absolutely.
it works, you do it again.
Absolutely.
And so after working for yourself, it's really hard to ever consider going back and working for anyone else again.
I say that a lot. I say that this will be my last and only boss, essentially, especially because in the field that I'm in, merchant services. I don't want to bore you guys to sleep, but it's a what's it called, a residual revenue. So
Right.
What you're making off of certain merchants, you make that until they leave you, or
Right.
until their businesses sell out, or you retire.
Sure.
So I completely can appreciate that entrepreneur side, because I'm just now getting into the game myself, and I've only been doing this for a couple months.
Yeah.
Just graduated school, so
Congrats.
definitely, thank you. But I definitely can appreciate that, because I'm just now hopping off the ledge, essentially.
Good.
And then, so I got a question for you. What did you do? What was like what would you say you did the best whenever you first started with tents and events? What was the
I don't think I did anything the best when I first started. I was just learning, taking it all up, absorbing it. If anything, I was watching other companies and studying what they did and seeing how we did things compared to others.
Okay.
And try to introduce new items to our business to help save labor.
Absolutely.
And other items that we could rent that we weren't currently doing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really just opening my eyes to what's out there and
Okay.
asking others how they do it and making sure our costs are aligned and seeing how other people kind of run the exact same thing in just a different city.
Yeah, and see, people, if you you can look at other people's businesses and take their, that's essentially a constructive criticism that you're taking without them even saying anything to you. You're just critiquing your own business there anyway, which is awesome.
We're members of an association, the American Rental Association.
Okay.
And we really participate a lot in that.
Okay.
And so we take it very seriously, and we've learned a lot from others.
Absolutely, and that's awesome because it's especially going into a new space. It's very tough for people to just listen to others, because they think most people think they got it figured out. So what would you say to the people? Like how do you overcome that? What do you think in your mind kind of made you automatically go to that, to start looking at other people's business models and stuff?
I mean, just being a member of the association, this group is open to helping others.
Mm-hmm.
We're really competing against each other, but at the same time, we're really helping each other.
Absolutely.
So it's kind of a unique scenario or unique situation.
Okay.
But just being a member of whatever associations are out there really helps. You get to learn all the manufacturers that are out there. You learn just so much. And other people have made so many mistakes, and it's like if you can learn from their mistakes and not do it yourself,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's winning.
Helps a lot, doesn't it?
Right?
Yeah, when you got to go backwards to go forwards. Absolutely, I agree, man. I agree, and that is a very that's a good view that I can appreciate. And what do you think that you could, if you could go back, what would you do a little different? What would what'd you mess up at the beginning?
Business a lot earlier instead of waiting till when I did.
Yeah.
It was this fun.
Did you know about that business before?
So I was in a different association called NACE, which is the National Association for Catering and Events, and that's where I met
the owner,
the woman who owned the business. But I was the president of our chapter, so we put a lot of time and energy into all the different events that we did,
Mm-hmm.
and it was really all about education.
Okay.
So I've just continued in that path and helped others.
Huh. So yeah, back to it though. What would you go back and kind of say, like business side? What would you not do so great right when you got started?
Oh, geez, it's a really good question.
Because everybody, all these viewers, they're going to be able to relate to that, because there's something that kept you, you either jumped off
So
immediately.
I would just say I'd be a better listener,
Mm-hmm.
and when your clients tell you stuff, listen to it and take care of them.
Okay.
That's the key.
Mm-hmm.
So if anything, I would have probably asked more questions to probe them more and find out really what they're looking for, and
Yeah.
tried to make their event even more fun.
I got you. So you saying you just didn't you didn't pay attention to detail enough when you first started, kind of like you was the sales
I
detail.
was wet behind the ears. I was just learning. So,
Okay, you're still green in the industry.
Yeah. So I would say just trying to be creative and do things differently and make things memorable for people.
Absolutely, that's it. Yeah, man. That's definitely something we hear a ton. Is that like kind of that. I just wanted to go at it and do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's something I feel like everybody goes through. And kind of what was that? What was that moment like? Like what was it? What were you feeling? Especially going from being in a catering spot, being a president of a chapter,
Mm-hmm.
to going to where now you're jumping off a ledge. Like the company was doing well.
So I was not afraid.
Okay.
I had studied the business quite a bit and
Okay.
saw the opportunities there. And this city is just full of opportunities. Atlanta's got so much going on.
1,000,000%.
And the movie industry is something that we fell into.
Okay.
And that really helped us to grow this business.
Yeah, and it's
quite
gotten
a
big
bit.
here in the last 10 years.
Exactly. And we're just so thankful the strike's over.
Yeah.
And,
Is it over?
It is over.
Let's go.
Yep.
I'm a big
So
movie guy.
the next couple weeks here in December will be steady, and then January it's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
And so,
So
we're
you guys are
excited about
excited.
that, absolutely, and looking forward to the new shows and productions coming back again.
That's awesome, man. That is awesome. So you guys do like you don't have a set vertical of places that you're doing events through. You're like that that you guys are setting up at. You guys will do any event that's called.
So as long as we have the staff and the equipment available, we're game.
Okay,
So,
cool. So y'all big sporting event people? Is that y'all bread and butter right there?
There's so many different markets we're in. We're not just in one segment alone. We do a lot in a lot of different places. So that's the nice thing.
Okay.
So
What's your bread and butter?
So I would say retail. We do a lot of retail events.
Okay.
2 different times of the year, and they're large.
Okay.
And we also, like I said, do movie productions quite a bit. We're also in the sporting market a little bit, as well as education. We do a lot of graduations in May
Okay.
for schools,
Yeah.
colleges, large colleges.
Yeah.
We do the UGA graduation.
Okay.
So it's a large setup there for us.
Any chance you guys did West Georgia's?
No, not so much, but it's an opportunity. We should
Absolutely, yeah.
introduce
That's where I
right
went,
people.
that's where I graduated from. So
All
yeah,
right, good.
absolutely, yeah. I could definitely introduce you. The president loves me. I played baseball there.
Okay,
So
nice.
just got done playing ball there.
But at the same time, We do a lot of corporate events. We do a lot with weddings and bar mitzvahs and special events, people's houses.
So that's
So
awesome.
there's just so many different types of events. No 2 days are ever the same for what we do.
And you guys don't mess up the grass either, I heard.
We try not to. We have floor protection that we put down.
Yeah.
But we try to do the best we can.
Yeah, so
So
you
we
guys
live in a
got it
better
going on.
place.
So you guys take care of people.
We
is what
try
you
the
do.
best we can.
Absolutely, and that's why you've been around for so long, is because you take care of people and you're doing the right things,
That's true.
and people
Thank
can
you.
appreciate that.
Yes.
Because if you don't, guess where you don't? Guess where you don't? You know, you'd be sitting in a different situation, or
Definitely.
you'd be having a different conversation with me right
We'll be
now.
in a different podcast.
Yes. So, all right, and then I got illusion, burn the ship. I mean, you kind of talked about it. You know where it comes from.
Yes.
Yes, and all viewers, you guys know. So, what did it feel like to burn the ship?
I don't think we've burned the ship quite yet.
Ah.
No?
I don't know. I think you have. I think you went and bought that business 13 years ago.
So, all right, so I would just say
What'd that feel
I'm
like?
a risk taker. What did it feel? It felt great. I mean, being your own boss is really good.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of, sometimes you ask yourself, did I do the right thing?
Yeah.
Is that right? And sometimes you'll ask a lot of other friends, what do you do with this? Same
Right.
situation.
Right.
So sometimes you don't want to second guess yourself, but that you can kind of bounce off other people and ask them,
Absolutely, and and that's a good point for me too. I'd love taking stuff from people that are in here that I sit down with for sure,
Yeah.
because it took a lot for me, because I'm super I want to be right. I want to do this. And I've had to step back, a ton, especially going into the sales world too, because you're not always right essentially, but that's not even the problem. The problem is you got to learn and absorb what, formulate a pitch or formulate something from all the people around you, because they're all successful. So look at what they're doing and try to replicate and take the good pieces of what they do.
That's right.
And that, and that's very tough for people. And I can attest to that. I'm one of those people that it was, it's taking time,
Yeah.
It wasn't easy, and it's
Right.
still not easy. You know what I
Sure.
mean? It's probably not ever going to be
They say
too
Ro-
easy,
Rome wasn't built in a day, right? So it takes
Exactly.
time.
How many
So
times do you think about the Roman Empire?
Never. Hardly ever.
You seen that TikTok going around?
Yeah.
Yes, I had to mention it. I was laughing. But no, definitely. So, kind of, what's your future endeavors looking like? What do you got?
Good
What do you got
question.
coming for the future?
Future endeavors. So we're really just going to continue on building what we've got here, and maybe adding other services that we don't currently offer that one day could be, in-house as well.
Absolutely. And what would that service? What do you guys not have already
So
besides China?
China glassware silverware is definitely one of those items. We don't currently offer. We don't own power. We don't
Okay.
own AC, air conditioning.
Mhm.
We work with other vendors that have that.
Okay.
But at the same token, it's a really large capital investment,
Mhm.
and you gotta have a place to store it.
Absolutely.
So until I find all that, we're just sticking with what we're doing.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because you said you guys have 51,000 square foot,
That's right.
and y'all are packed to the gills, huh?
The warehouse is pretty filled.
Which everything you guys have is like it's big stuff. I mean, those tents aren't small.
That's right,
And then
that's
we'll
right.
we'll put it up on the screen so that people can see your website that way, because it is insane, guys.
Yeah.
What they do, it is really insane. How many people do you think that y'all accommodate? Monthly, like a total people's, not like not like
so
just one person you go
It's
to.
a really hard thing to really ask, because when we have large events for like the Atlanta Track Club, who's
Mhm.
doing the Peachtree Road Race, there's 50,000 people or 60,000 people running. So
Probably
we're building
10 are at least going to go through something you have out there.
all of them in the end. They'll all see it at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But there's just so many different types of events, and so many are so large, so it's really hard to really give you that answer.
Okay, I got you.
But we're in a lot of annual city events that go yearly here.
I got you. And then like with your audio company as well, what kind of what's the future endeavors looking like with that?
Well, that we're gonna keep growing the inventory, building more items to rent.
Okay.
Not building, but buying them,
I got you.
and just really expanding what we have there.
Yeah. How old is that company?
So we started it during COVID.
Okay.
So like 2 years ago.
Okay. Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
fresh new business.
Right.
Yeah.
But the gentleman that I'm with has been in the EV business for over 20 years.
I got you.
And he's got a large inventory already.
Oh yeah.
And he has a lot of clients that he already works with.
Already has a reoccurring customer right there. That's awesome.
So
'Cause
he's really just switched partners.
I got you. And then have you known that partner for a long time
Well, when we moved into
through the event space?
exactly, we became better friends when we moved into our old warehouse,
Mm-hmm.
which was 13 years ago.
Okay.
And we were neighbors in the same complex,
Oh,
so we know each other.
how awesome is that?
Yeah, good
That's
guy.
awesome. Life comes a long way. Friends come from all over.
That's so true.
And then if you want to tell the people kind of where to find you and what tell them who you are and where to find you.
Sure. Well, we're located at classic-tints.com, And we've got an office in Norcross off Best Friend Road. So
Best Friend Road.
Isn't that a great name? It's totally crazy. But yeah, so we're out there, and give us a holler. And we're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn, we're on Instagram. So classic-tents, and love to help you and make your event a success.
Cool. Burn the ship.
Thanks.